Hey supersummersalts, I just thought I would weigh in on this particular topic. I do agree with you pretty much on, well, I guess you're kind of on the fence, so agreeing with you being on the fence is a little odd. The monkey being shot was completely overshadowed by the racial connotations of the cartoon. So you can kind of see how people wouldn't see it because they're busy arguing or discussing the insult. But as far as the sensitivity goes, I don't know if you know the speaker named Steven Pinker. He does meanings of words, how people think, and he did a book and a thesis called The Myth of Violence. And in it, he described how people, each generation becomes slightly less tolerant than the generation before it, in a good way. So this generation wouldn't accept, or doesn't accept, what the last generation would do and say, especially towards minorities, blacks, Mexicans, any sort of minority, classic minority. This generation won't accept what the last generation does or did. Just like the next generation will not be as tolerant of this generation's attitude. And it's always a progressive scale towards, or he described it as always a progressive scale towards being, I don't want to say being good, but being equal, fair, less violent, less bigoted, less brutish. So I do see it as a positive reaction, although I understand also it's pretty obvious that it's people just trying to get on their soapbox and running to their sides of the fence and throwing stones at the other. That's pretty obvious. But I think it is overall, if you take a giant step backwards, to me, a positive trend towards changing our attitudes towards race and equality. In the end, and this is my happy bubble, and you're not allowed to pop it, we're going to get better and happier and wiser. It just sometimes doesn't feel like it.